Is round 2 of the heat set to begin at Karting Genk, home of champions, and the 2024 Sodi World Series finals. There are the 30 kid drivers out on the circuit ready for their second heat. Now, this grid was decided by the second qualifying session yesterday, so the starting lineup is different than what we had this morning, but it's an all-Polish front row once again. Max Piatek and Łukasz Dzierżyński, they are on the front row of the grid. Peter Fabry from Slovakia, and the lady from France, Celia Dussaud, her best ever result in qualifying. The lady that finished 16th last year, she is there on the outside of row number 2 with Jurasz Mikos and defending champion Maximilian Sovic on row number 3.
Maximilian Sovic starting 6th in front of Roman Curtis and Sam Nygren. Kokoa Sugawara from Japan and Jude Puddlefoot completes the top 10 on the grid.
Marcel Piasek and Alessio Zacchi are on row number 6. Row number 7, Spain's Mark Beltran and Bulgaria's Viktor Nikolov.
Two more Japanese drivers, Rusei Takagi and Takeru Nakamura, 15th and 16th on the grid.
Mille Karlstrom and Roger Dionisio from Sweden and Spain are next up.
And Franjo Toncic and Kazuki Yamada, top 20.
An all-French 11th row with Vladimir Bruno and Philippe Volsky.
Followed by Anastasios Pavlidis and Timofey Kushnirov, Greece and Ukraine.
There's Greece and Lebanon on the next row with Agaliki Nusapoulou and George Badar.
And Ellis Cox, who finished second in the first heat, now is standing 27th on the grid.
Yes, and he will start alongside Enzo Biseglia with the Canadian lady Jade Wilson and Samuel Erdelt rounding out the field. Now, Gertz, there will be on our timing screens the current points standings.
Who cares about points when we have such a racing on the track? The points we will count later at the evening.
Yes, we will calculate the points, but drivers, the winner of this year's Sodi World Series finals will be calculated based on every driver's 3 heat points, their super heat points, and of course the points they gain in the final.
You can get
itself.
30 in a heat, you can get 50 in a super heat, and more than 100 if you win a final.
Exactly, and you know, it's all about consistency, sometimes not necessarily risking it all and crashing, but being calm, cool, collected. But the green flag is in the air. Green flag waves, we're off and racing. And it's a good start from the pole-sitting driver, Max Piatek, who leads the field into turn number 1 on this fantastic 1,360-meter Genk track.
Łukasz Dzierżyński dives into the inside of the second corner and now emerges in front. Max Piatek and Dzierżyński Łukasz fighting for the lead right now. The first lap has begun. They are side by side again, going out to the Europa Plan straight, and they are side by side, still deciding who will lead this race. The kids has begun the second heat here in Sodi World Series.
Yes, indeed. Into turn number 5, the button chicane, sun shining. The leader, Piatek, followed by Łukasz Dzierżyński. Everybody else chopping and changing behind. These are the kids. They're not the youngest drivers. They're just the lightest drivers. Different weight limits in each category here in the Sodi World Series International Final. They come down the infield straight towards Clubhouse Bend now. Lots of battling side by side in the middle of the pack, but it's a Polish 1-2, and the countrymen are trying to break away. Piatek, who is here representing the SKW Racing Park, and Dzierżyński representing E1 Go-Kart in Chorzo.
And Jezierski dives inside in the first corner, very long corner, closing at the exit, and Jezierski goes in front. Lukasz Jezierski now is leading. Max Piatek is second. Two Polish drivers fighting for the lead in this race, followed by Peter Fabry and Juraj Mikoš. Juraj Mikoš now is fourth, then Roman Curtis and Marcel Piaszczak in P6. Piaszczak was third in the first race and now is down to sixth, so very good race for Lukasz Jezierski. His main competitors from the heat number one now are further back.
And just looking there, unfortunately, Samuel Erdelt at the back of the pack in kart number 4. A problem for the young German driver. That means he is down at last position. But here we go, the top 4 coming through 180.
Fabry in the inside of Max Piatek at the 180 degrees corner. They are approaching clubhouse, and now there is a fight for a second and third, and Lukasz Jezierski able to pull away. The Piatek still holds second.
Yes, they're the top 4. That is Piatek, Jezierski, Fabry, Mikoš, 2 Poles, 2 Slovaks. It's Eastern Europe to the fore as the sun shines here in Belgium. A huge gap back to Roman Curtis.
Mikoš outside in the first corner, outside on Piatek. Piatek holds inside. He pushed wide, Juraj Mikoš, and now he's back in second position. Juraj Mikoš just had nowhere to go at the exit of the first corner, but second, third and fourth, Piatek, Mikoš and Fabry.
Yes, indeed. Out towards turn number 4, even with these drivers battling. And look at this group. This is for about 10th, 11th, 12th on back. 3 wide into turn number 4. They're 3 wide and 3 rows deep. 9 karts, all travelling together. Ellis Cox
it's
in
like
the
a parade, not a race.
Yes, this is not the rolling up. They're 4 wide down the Europa Plan straight. Look for kart number 9. Oh, somebody rubs the tyre barriers there.
It's carders and rubbing.
And they're still 4 wide through the button chicane. Thank goodness for wrap-round bumpers, and there's still 4 wide coming through the 180, coming out in front, giving a driver, that's Lewis Hamilton style crash helmet. I think that's number 90, but look at driver number 9, Ellis Cox up the inside, passing Mark Beltran. Cox now signalling, saying, push forward, push forward.
And it's Lukasz Jezierski who's pushing forward really fast. He has 1.2 seconds advantage over Juraj Mikoš in second. Mikoš got clear of Fabry and Piatek. Piatek lost 2 positions and now is riding fourth. Marcel Piaszczak now is fifth in front of Roman Curtis and Koko Sugawara, Viktor Nikolov and Timofey Kushniryuk at the end of top 10. Then 10th place for Max Sovic.
Looking down there again, please keep your comments coming in on the Facebook page, the live chat. We can see people from Aruba tuning in. Mark Croyce, you'll see your driver Nathan Croyce in the next race out on circuit. However, here is one of the many good battles on circuit. The leaders are heading down the infield straight. This is some of the chasing drivers in the middle of the pack. Further back, you're looking at the group that was Ellis Cox was leading. I think he's pulled away from this group now, trying to get some of the numbers of those cars. Celia Dussaud, she has dropped to 11th position in kart number 8 after starting at the top 4, but this is still very good indeed from the young French lady. Side by side battling through turn number 9, but the leaders start another lap and closing in. Juraj Mikoš with the red race suit, the blue crash helmet, is closing in on our race leader Lukasz Jezierski.
Lukasz Jezierski leading. Ellis Cox are fighting his way through the pack. Now he is up to 16th place, but there are 4 seconds gap in front of him. He has done everything he could from the start in the first few laps, but now he has a lot of work to do. Can he catch the next group of drivers? There was the whole hell broke loose in the fights in end of first 10.
That is the group of drivers that Ellis Cox on your screens now, that Ellis Cox is trying to catch. And as you can see, they're 2, sometimes 3 wide. This is going to be helping. See the big gaping bit of track behind. But then you have Cox who's travelling all on his own, trying to close in. This is the battle between Koko Sugawara, Jude Puddlefoot, Roman Curtis.
They are changing so fast.
And the rest, Takeharu Nakamura, Celia Dussault, Alessio Zacchi, Philippe Volsky is in that group. So is the number 1 kart of Max Sovic. Sovic retired from his opening race, scored nil points, 0 points. So Sovic, his title defense, really off to a poor start. He's got to keep pushing on.
And Cox is closing on. Cocoa Sugawara in 15th place. Piatek goes in front of Peter Fabry up to 3rd. Fabry now is 4th. Marcel Piaszczak is 5th. Then Timofey Kushtiruk up to P6 in front of Viktor Nikolov. Takeru Nakamura 8th. Then Celia Dussault and Philippe Volsky in P10.
Looking at down the back straight, here are your leaders into the button chicane. Jerzyski in the white crash helmet. Mikosh in the blue crash helmet and the Slovakian red and blue race suit. They come through 180 degrees. They have a 2.5 second advantage over Max Piaszczak and Peter Fabre. Then it's Piaszczak, Marcel Piasik in 5th position. Then a big gap back to the battle for 6th position, which is led by Timofey Kushniruk from Ukraine. The leaders come around the final corner to start another lap with 2 minutes to go. And we'll look back. We were looking to see if Ellis Cox was closing in. He's still in 16th position, is Ellis Cox, but he is gaining ground on Curtis and Sugawara.
And fight between Piatek and Fabry for 3rd place. Piatek goes inside Fabry and the 2nd corner, and they swap again. It's Piatek in front. Fabry still stays 4th. Lukas and Mikosh in front fighting for the 1st. Juraj Mikosh came up his way from the 4th to 2nd, and now they are fighting through the long straight along the road in the next corner. Very close battle between Juraj Mikosh and Lukas Jezierski.
And Jerzyski hanging on. He's hanging on, but it looks like Mikosh is looking to the inside, side by side for the race lead. Mikosh had the inside line for 180. He falls back into second position because Jerzyski had the line going into Clubhouse Bend. They come through turn number 9 and head down towards the heavy braking zone at turn 10. Will Mikosh make a move? Not this time, but Juraj is running out of time as we cross the line with 45 seconds to go. So 2 laps left to run.
2 laps for Juraj Mikosh to try to get a lead in this race. He was disappointed at the starting straight. He was hitting his wheel. He lost a few meters to Lukas Jezierski, but now he's back on his rear bumper. Lukas Jezierski at the fastest time in the first sector. He is trying to pull away, but unsuccessful. Mikosh is right behind him. They are on the Europaplan straight, and Mikosh slipstreaming behind Lukas Jezierski. Jezierski goes inside, defending his line. Going in the next corner, he's inside from the outside. Juraj Mikosh through the tire barriers. They're fighting now in the button chicane. The next corner, 180 degrees. There, Mikosh was inside already a lap ago. Now he's 2 meters behind Lukas Jezierski. They are fighting. This is penultimate lap of this race. Jezierski leading, Mikosh 2nd. There, Piatek and Fabry fighting for 3rd and 4th. Marcel Piaszczak in a lonely 5th place. Then Kushniruk, Nikolov, Dussault, Volsky fighting for 6th till 9th place.
Into the final corner we go for the penultimate time. They see the 1 lap to go symbol, and we have a look into turn number 1. And looking down the order, trying to see where else we are. Kushniruk, Puddlefoot, Nikolov, Zacchi, Volsky, Dussault and Nakamura. That's the rest of your top 10, but it's all about these 2 drivers on your screen now as Lukas Jerzyski trying to hold off Juraj Mikosh. Mikosh gets a good run. He's on the inside line down the Europlan straight, but Lukas Jerzyski defends hard going into turn number 5. Juraj is running out of opportunities. There's a 1 more coming up in the next corner, out to the button chicane. Can Juraj dive up the inside? Not this time. Half a lap to go. Gertz Timrot.
Less than half a lap. Lukasz Jerzewski is leading Juraj Mikosz right behind him. There is only 2 meters between them. Only 2/10 in starting this lap. Juraj Mikosz is disappointed. He is approaching last corner, hitting his steering wheel. He lost opportunities who maybe wasn't there, even wasn't. Lukasz Jerzewski is faster. He is first. Lukasz Jerzewski takes the win. Juraj Mikosz second, and Max Piatek third. Peter Fabry is fourth, and Marcel Piaszczek top 5.
The rest of the field come across the line. Well done, Jude Puddlefoot, finishing 6th overall with a 3-second penalty. Timothy Kushneruk is 7th, Viktor Nikolov is 8th, Alessio Zacchi is 9th, and Filip Wolski rounds out your top 10. Takehiro Nakamura, Celia Desod, Max Sovic. Well, 13th place is better than a retirement, but Sovic is still under the cosh, as it were. His title defence hangs in the balance already. Ellis Cox from the back of the field finishes 14th, ahead of Kakoa Sugawara, Mark Beltran, and Kazuki Yamada. Roman Curtis, unfortunately, when it was raining, Roman reigns supreme, but in the dry, he only finishes 18th. Agaliki Nusapulu and Vladimir Bruno round out your top 20, ahead of Sam Neugren, Roger Dionisio, Anastasios Pavlidis, Enzo Biseglia, Franjo Toncic, Milik Karlstrom, Jade Wilson, Ryusuke Takagi, and Samuel Erdelt. And I have to say that even though Lebanon's George Bader